Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Agnes Varda's Cleo from 5 to 7. So this is the second film of our month of looking at Agnes Varda films for the Filmstagram Movie Club, and this film is about a young singer played by Corinne Marchand who is spending a couple hours navigating Paris, waiting to find out if she has cancer. And along the way, she interacts with friends and lovers and strangers and musical people and really takes this time. This film reflects upon a lot of different ideas centered around the idea of mortality. And looking at, like, are you living a good life? Are you making the most out of life? Are you living a selfless life versus selfishness? There's quite a few times during this film that you really see the layers of Cleo's selfishness, and they shine through, and you're sitting there like, I don't think I can really support you in this. It's like you're being this way and you're selfish and you're dealing with these things in your own way. And her interactions with different characters, and like even from the very beginning, her connecting with a close woman of hers, and you hear an inner monologue from this woman talking about like how just like melodramatic and, for lack of a better term, extra she's being about all this. And later in the film, this film's kind of bookended in that idea. She meets this stranger, this soldier, and they make this connection, and this stranger is able to look into her and give her a sense of, like, from the outside looking in, how are you being? And called her a melomaniac. And that idea of just overly dramatic and thinking about, oh, how could this be to me? And helping her realize getting past that and then coming to the confrontation of her potential illness. And she's waiting for this test to come back. The camera and how Varda navigates this film is very humanistic. You're just following her along. You're following Cleo across the city. You spend a lot of time just in her studio apartment with tons of kittens. So many kittens. And it's so great because there's even points where the camera was like, there's two kittens fighting, and it's like cutting between, which, similar to her film that I watched last week, La Court, it's like the camera work is really inspired and really helps you get engrossed into the story. And like there's this situation where she's singing, man's playing on a piano, two kittens are fighting in the background, and this camera is supposed to be going back and forth between the two people, but then like hovers around on the kittens, and like it feels like you're the audience watching along, and it's just like I would be distracted by two kittens fighting in the background. I would also be distracted by all the kittens in general. And it's so fun how everybody in this film like, even though these are some larger than life characters, like she's a young singer, she's a personality, they feel natural. There's even a situation where one of the guys is sitting in the studio apartment and a cat is walking across his back. And you feel that, and there's a natural nature to her films so far that I can tell from Varda, and I really appreciate that. Is everything feels real, and you're sitting there and you're feeling these feelings, you're getting a look into the depth of these themes, this idea of illness and how are you going to handle it, how are you going to move on, how are you going to fight this, because there's moments where she's like, if I find out I'll just kill myself, and it's just like those overly dramatic moments at the beginning of the film, and you see her grow throughout the film, especially this last chunk of the film with this Anton, this young soldier, and what he's able to help her realize. But throughout this film, it's so expertly crafted. It moves so well. I never felt bored during a 90-minute film that's just a slice of life and you're just following this singer around. There's some fun moments in the film. There's one particular scene where one of the musicians is playing on the piano, coming up with this silly song, and it was actually really, really funny, and enjoyed it quite a bit. And this film, despite the fact that it's about imminent potential death, there's so much life to this film that it just feels refreshing to walk through the shoes of this young woman and being there with her as she's learning and going through all these experiences leading up to this point, and how is she going to react to whatever news she's going to get. And it felt very real and meaningful and relatable. And in the end, Cleo from 5 to 7 is very human, very touching, and very engrossing experience. And Agnes Varda does an amazing job of making a very humanistic film. But those are my thoughts on Cleo from 5 to 7. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.